Welcome back to A Corporate Time.
A couple things. We got Spark Stemfest coming up at Orlando Science Center.
I know what you're thinking. What's a Spark Stemfest? Well, you can go out to the Orlando Science Center and you can learn about science.
Well, yeah, STEM stands for like science, technology. I don't know.
Education.
A, is that right, boss? I believe
Why'd you go into it when you knew you didn't know it?
Okay,
God damn it, you do this every
wait,
time.
I was spelling
M is-
Spark. I was spelling Spark. STEM is science, technology,
Engineering.
Empanadas.
empanadas,
And mofongo.
Empanadas,
Math and engineering.
and mustard dipping sauce.
I figured it out. And they have an adult STEM night that's on the 18th, and you can have some alcohol and walk around the science center.
You know what makes STEM better? An ice cold beer.
Yeah.
It really does. It makes science a lot more fun.
All right, so we're talking about some people clowning me again on social media.
Well, it's become like a whole thing now, and I think you're leaning in. You're doing that. You're putting on high heels. You're dancing all around. You're acting like a clown.
True.
You know, you're full Carrot Top mode. You know, like Carrot Top on Instagram, he's like lip syncing and swirling around because he has to have attention. I feel like you're becoming that person.
I don't want
Starve
attention.
for attention.
I don't
Look
want
at
attention.
me. You're putting on all the outfits. You're swirling around. I think you're literally steps away from becoming drunky again. I can feel it. I can feel it's like when Jordan came back after you're retired. I can feel like you need to get back in the game.
I just don't.
All of these contests with Cadillac. Pat, you did a push-up contest, and then or like pull-up. And then what else? He's challenging every
He
client.
could run more than 15 miles an hour.
Yeah, he challenged Tracy's son to run through the Science Center. You ran through the Science Center, had a race. So where is this coming from? You had a little midlife crisis here?
No.
Playing golf with Jimmy.
Yeah,
Drive
yeah.
Shack.
And then at Drive Shack, he was like, "Who's stronger, Jimmy? Who can drive?" And it's a contest.
I'm just sitting here trying to do business, minding my own business, and then all of a sudden I see this picture of me on. Okay, it started.
I got it up right now if you want to see it.
The
if you
Facebook page they started, the Tom Van Club.
Well, you
Yeah.
mistakenly
Norm.
thought that this was like a place where people go, and then what do you think they're going to be like? Oh, look at his muscles. Oh, look at it. Oh, he's so handsome. Oh, we love Tom. You love Tom too? Hey, you want to go to Wing House? You think people do that? You think people go like, hey, man, you want to go to Buffalo Wild Wings and talk about Tom?
Well, they started the club, and then I got in there.
It was a place to secretly talk about our words.
Now I realize that.
Yeah.
I thought they actually cared about the stories
You know what
of
it
my
is?
stunts.
It's a group chat. You know, like kids do group chats, and then they chat about like we don't have any of those because we're older, but like young people, like if you don't like somebody or if you want to clown on somebody, you'll start a group chat.
Oh, I got a lot of group chats.
Yeah, and you just start clowning on people to other people. Well, this is their way of group chatting you. There was an article about Khloe Kardashian having a group chat about the whole family, and she's like telling people that Kim texts like a gym. Stuff
What does
like
that mean?
Oh, if you text like a gym, you're not using emojis, you're not quick enough. You write it all out.
Oh, that's what I do.
I know.
I'm a gym.
You're a gym. You're a gym.
Or me and Kim Kardashian have something
Kim
in
and Jim.
common.
Jim and Kim.
Yeah, Kim and Jim.
Kim Jong-un.
So, but now I realize the
Jim
Tom
Jong-un?
Van Club is turned into just another
It is
form
it's
of
a secret,
bully
it's
and R-word.
secret R-word chats a lot. It's a place you go where you can make fun of disabled people secretly. It's a secret disabled.
I thought they cared about my stunts.
I'm going to call it what it is. It is a secret disabled hate club. That's what it is. It's a secret disabled hate club.
I would put pictures. I went to my
I've
old
got one of the
photo
videos
book.
up.
Well, it started off where I go to like old photo albums of me like jumping stuff, and then
you're like an old man. You're like, here's me.
Yeah.
This is
Well,
me
they liked
racing back in the day with Davey Allison back in the 500.
I told some nuggets of behind the scenes.
Stop calling them nuggets. You should
Is that
call
what you call your fans? Tom Van Nuggets?
Yeah, the nugs. He calls them the nugs.
Wow.
I tell like, hey, look at this, and I tell some story I've never told before, and I thought they liked it, and they were just
No one likes it. No one's ever liked it.
no
one liked
well,
it.
now I know.
Yeah, you know what's funny is no one liked it when it was actually happening. It's a story now.
Well, I thought they liked it now.
No, when it was like this one, for instance, this La Spada's garbage.
This is when I saw it, and I was like, what is this? And then they're like, look,
What
I
is
found.
these? Why'd you say it like
They
that?
were like, look, I found on Reddit, and then I.
How did they
some
find
of my
this on Reddit?
some of my
I
favorite
don't know.
pictures in the Tom Van Club are Tom drunk as hell on the cruises.
Yeah, no. Well, then they put those, and I'm
yeah.
like, "Oh, you didn't really have to put those."
Yeah,
You know
it makes
what?
you look like
what
a-
about me looking cool
Yeah.
or jumping?
I
or,
sent the link to all of our clients. I'm like, look at who who you're doing business with.
But then I rationalized it. I was like, oh, it's the only one they could find, and then also maybe it's
and
a
you
way.
love it, dude. Don't lie.
I don't
love it.
I don't look how
You
bad I
love
look.
You're like, hell yeah, they're talking about me.
No, it's me at the fattest point
Okay,
of my
I'm
life.
gonna watch this. Can I watch this?
In front of a sub shop.
Oh man.
And I was there for a radio promotion.
Yeah.
Like, I'm doing business.
Can I watch this?
It's
He
not like
was minding his business.
I'm there.
Hey man,
Clear
you're
Channel.
crushing it on views on this thing. Can you see that? I mean, this
What?
thing has been hammered. 54 views.
That was all us yesterday.
No, this was posted. This was posted in 2011, Sam.
Oh, I know, but only one person watched
No,
it.
I know. That's what I'm
15
saying.
years
It was
ago.
literally posted 15 years ago from the radio station. They only got 54 years, 54 views in 54 years.
So
This
is some promotion
oh my
I
God.
went to
Well, this was a
for-
failure. You got 54 views in 11 years.
I didn't put this. I don't even know what
views.
this is. I didn't even know there was
12
video.
years, Sam. 12 years. 54 views in 12 years.
And 50 of them were yesterday. Yeah.
All right, you
Anyway.
ready? Can I get a little taste of this?
I have no recollection of this whatsoever.
I don't either.
So
And what are you wearing? You're wearing
I've seen
you're
this
wearing
for
a
the first
sheet.
time. Yeah,
Does
yeah.
this look like? Is this a cutscene for the whale?
No, I think
Melissa, use this in the whale.
No, of course I got there and okay, push pause for a second.
Oh my God,
Okay.
you're so big.
Well,
Look
no,
at, oh
you
my
You have
God.
a blanket on.
Look at his
That's the
back.
only thing they
Look how
gave
long
me.
those sleeves are.
Look at his back. Jesus Christ. Is that
Those
you?
are 3/4 sleeves.
Is that Izzy?
I got a humpback.
That is Izzy.
I got a fat deposit.
My God, you're fat. in
Why?
this.
Why is my? I like I have a hunchback. What is that?
You got 2 burgers on your back.
You got a
on.
burger back.
Uh,
Oh, this video has no
You know what?
sound? Why is there no sound for
I
the
guess
video?
that there was like a weird format, and you can only get sound if you play it mobily, which is weird. Because it's so old.
They
Well, then
upload-
why am I even
How
playing
old
this?
is this?
Hold on, then I'm
They
going to
up-
play it.
hold on,
Play it off your phone.
They uploaded a video that is so old that the
All right.
internet
Hi,
gave the
everybody.
term-
It's me, Drunk to the Mayor. And I
just ran the line of the spotters.
I just did it out. There's a big lot out there. Come see it. Hey, look at my haircut. I look like a big fat hamster.
Why are you
My
shaking
God.
around like this?
Okay, push pause for a
Holy
second.
moly. I
I'll
am
explain-
big and fat.
I'll explain to you what's going on here. Okay. Of course, at the time, I'm disgruntled. I don't give two S's about anything.
You're hungover, too.
I hate
I
the
can see
company.
it.
I hate the company I work for. Hate everybody. I'm like questioning what the hell is it? What am I gonna do here?
But you know you can make $300.
Yeah.
Wait, no,
yeah.
probably.
The spot is
This
fine.
was, no, this was probably 500 because it was
No, hell no.
They didn't do the.
I don't think there's any money at all.
They used to do.
This is
extra.
Man,
Oh.
this is a free sandwich.
Well, I get $20. I get $20 for every endorsement commercial. But I think even back then, when I was doing my 1 minute of comedy, they weren't even paying me for that because they're like, we don't know how to pay someone for an endorsement. Like,
Tracy asked where your neck is. All right, y'all are getting mean now.
also,
Was
I,
this your
I
biggest?
showed up to this. I think I was making subs.
Yeah, you were.
As a bit.
You said you
yeah.
you ran the line for
Yeah,
like a
you
lunch
said-
hour.
You did
or
your old
something.
thing about
Yeah,
I
yeah.
used to do substantial
Yeah,
and I know my way
yeah.
around it.
And I'm sure
There was audio on the one I listened to. I don't know.
And I'm sure
sorry, guys.
Maybe it was just because it was on my phone. I don't know.
when I showed up there, I was like, wearing some whatever shirt, and then they were like, "Well, you got to wear some Las Patas a shirt and
And they
apron."
had a 4XL.
That's the only one they had, and then so I put it on because once I'm at the client's place, I'll do anything they tell me to do. Because I can be easily pressured into anything, and I feel like I owe them.
Wait a minute, I'm on the case. This one says promo 1. That leads me to believe there are more than one.
Oh,
I'm
man.
on the case.
Oh, I'm sure. I mean, there's been lots of situations where someone's like, "Hey, can you do this or can you record this video?" And I'm like, "Yeah, let's do it."
I do that to you every Wednesday.
Yeah. Like, and then they turn on the camera, and then I just try to act excited. I'm like, I'm sure saying something about the
yeah.
spot. Like it matters.
I got
all
one.
the whole time knowing. I'm
I
like,
got
none of this
one.
What's
matters.
this one? Is
I
this
got-
the same
I got you.
outfit?
I-
Oh, this is on the line.
Oh, no, that's not you.
That is
okay,
not
hold
you.
on. That's not you. That's not you.
But it does say when pigs fly.
Yeah, I'm trying to find more Drunky the Bear stuff.
No, there's lots of it.
Oh, it's out
God.
Yeah.
Do you remember this particular day?
No. The only thing I do
Do
remember.
you know you're still hanging in Las Patas, that picture
yeah,
of you?
Yeah. No, I
And
know.
you're wearing a hat.
I'm telling you, I like Las Patas, and I appreciate them sponsoring the show. Or
They don't sponsor our show.
No, I know they
Oh.
don't. But at the time, although I don't think I was getting any money for it.
Oh, do you have it?
Kill for Las Patas on Lee Road and in Orange City. So come check them out because
Let me start from the beginning.
Oh, wait, hold-
You're walking out the door.
What's going on? I'm Drunky the Bear from the Monsters in the Morning. I just got done working the lunch shift at Las Patas, and it was hard work. But now it's time to eat some delicious Las Patas. They got the best
You're
cheese.
shaking your boobs while you're doing it.
I'm eating a cheesesteak burger that I would kill for. Las Patas on Lee Road.
You would kill for a cheesesteak burger.
You know, you remind me of
It wasn't hard work, by the way.
You remind me of a young Sonny Tillman who in Sonny's barbecue, where you're like, you know what I like to do after working the line at Las Patas, and now it's time to eat. I like that. You have like kind of that southerny, come on, look, sit down, get yourself a sweet tea, and have yourself a good old cheesesteak.
It's just the business of marketing.
Yeah. You've always done it. It's in your blood. Back when you started as a young a subman, a young subman out there just working and smelling like cheesesteaks.
Who found this and then put it up on Reddit, and then now it spreads around?
I think it might have been Ghost.
Oh, you mother.
There are now you have, see, and now it turned on you. But your own ego turned on you. I'll tell you what happened. The allure of having your own.
Well, he found out he had the Tom Van Club, but he wasn't in it.
Right.
And then he thought it was something different.
Exactly.
And as soon as he got in
that was
it,
his ego.
I mean,
His ego was like, oh, well, put me in there.
they love me.
I'll just
he
put
does
it.
check in from time
And
to
then
time.
he did this. He's like, put me in there. I'll give it to you straight in your vein. You know, he's like, I'll give you the story straight from the source. They didn't want that. They wanted a place where they could go and share videos where you look like an R word.
Yeah. And just like any insane narcissist, I just skip over the best.
Right.
I'm like, they didn't really mean that. I just, I'm like, oh,
Let's see here.
They love me.
I'll come back later when maybe something positive's here.
Yeah.
It's like old Corey Feldman. Have you seen all the videos of people? And I see this a lot on TikTok. I've been consuming a lot of TikTok.
Yeah,
lately.
you've been telling me. The only TikTok I get is you telling me about your TikTok.
But it's a way for me to consume like 80 micro videos and get an idea of what's going on in the world.
Isn't that confusing you more as an old man? Like if you give an old man 80 tiny concepts, he's going to understand none of them.
Well, it doesn't matter what you understand. I just want to get a snapshot of what's happening in the world and get a little bit of everything, right?
So, like most people complain, you just want to read all the headlines, and that'll give you enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
And it'll like let's see. And every once in a while, Corey Feldman videos will pop up. And
I do like me some Corey Feldman.
And what they are of their videos from his shows, and they'll show like him doing a guitar solo or whatever in the middle of the song.
I have seen that one.
And then what it is it's like a half-filled venue, right? And like
it looks like it looks like a tiny. It looks like
we had a BDM that went to one of his shows.
A tiny bar gig.
And there are like there's not nobody there. There's people there,
like
and
250 people,
and they're cheering him on, and they want to like either whether or not it's just
he takes it dead serious.
It may be a Tom Van Club scenario where they're just.
I think there's a little bit of that.
Yeah,
like
where they're making fun of him, but they keep their mouth shut.
Yeah, like a dinner for schmucks.
Well, he's different than you.
But they're
you
like,
yell at
Corey.
them. You yell at them, and you're like, "You mother!" He doesn't do any of that. If he did a little bit of that, then they'd be a little more rambunctious. But they keep it in there.
He's too far gone to.
Well, you could hurt him.
Yeah.
He's fragile. You can't go up to Corey Feldman and be like, "Man, I'm laughing at you because you are so close to being disabled." You can't do that. He would cry.
Yeah. Or I think he would turn it off, like he'd turn his reality off. I think he's so far removed from.
I know people that turn their reality off.
Yeah, like he doesn't even
seen those
understand what's happening, or maybe he does. But when he goes to do the guitar solo, he's messing it up slowly.
Yeah, well,
he's like,
it's avant-garde.
And then he's like barely getting through it, and it's real bad. And then they kick back in.
It reminds me of Lee's guitar solo in the Barbecue Freakout.
No, it was better than Corey Feldman by far.
I'm gonna try and find that one.
And then it's him singing off key, and then there's this weirdo pauses where he's trying to like build up like this, like a crowd roar, but nothing's happening.
No.
Like he'll stop and then just sit there and it'll go on for too long. But I think he expects like,
oh man,
but nothing happens. Everybody's just like talking, and then obviously he kicks back in. It is hard to watch.
Well, he
like it's hard. Like you sit there and you're like, man, this is.
Is it harder to watch than The Whale?
Wow, that's a good question.
At least The Whale, everybody is acting and they all know what they're doing.
Well, let me ask you a question.
With Corey Feldman and his band, I'm like, do they know what's happening?
Let me ask you a question. If he like you said, if he is able to go in, or even before the gig, he goes in, he's super excited about it. He loves playing the music, and he's able to shut off his reality. And maybe he's not aware that there are people there that are laughing at him. Does it matter? If it doesn't, right?
No,
I mean,
no.
he's getting a little bit of money. He's touring. You can
Good for him.
obviously see that doing this is what he's always wanted to do more than I think anything. Because, look at how long he's stuck with this, the gimmick. He's still dresses like Michael Jackson. He's still spinning around and doing the dances. He takes these performances. I've watched a full one before.
Yeah,
He's
super seriously.
Super serious. Like, and I talked to a friend of mine who actually saw him and said, look, I understand what it is, and yeah, it's cringy, but man, he works his ass off to try and provide a show. Like, he's working. He takes it dead serious. Now, it may not be good, and it may be so cringe, but damn it, he's taking it seriously and he's working for you. So is there value in that?
Yeah, no, for sure. Because people bought the tickets, and whether or not they're happy at the end of it is up to them. Or
Right. You can't change that.
But regardless, he is, like you said, taking it seriously and trying his hardest. But it is cringy to watch because he is not that good at what he's doing, and it's. I mean.
Yeah.
There are parts, and maybe this is why it ends up on TikTok, and maybe the rest of the show is not as cringy, but there's parts of it that it's like barely getting through the guitar solo, weirdo, awkward things that are happening on stage, taking it too seriously based on where you're at or what your crowd is.
Like he's standing in a room as small as this studio, and he's like literally there's smoke all around him. He's got his fist in the air. And then he'll do like boom, bow. He'll do these like double arms, and he's still up, and the smoke's going around him.
He's acting as if he's Freddie Mercury at the Wimbledon. There's like a scene.
I like that though.
Yeah, it's fun to watch.
You only have a couple choices. Like if you were a comedian, and you had one person there. Would you go out and act as if you were Eddie Murphy, delirious, and try to really give him a show?
Give him 100.
Yeah, I do respect I almost cursed. I respect the hell out of him for doing that because I got to tell you, I
couldn't do it.
It would be real hard. I could try. I don't know if I could do that.
Yeah. It makes for a super cringe-worthy video clip, but it is odd.
Like somebody in the chat room said, it's like he's performing at like Uncle Lou's, but he's pretending he's at Wembley Stadium.
Yeah.
And that is
I like that effort though.
But some would say effort. Other would say this guy's deranged, right? Because
Well,
why
then
would
the
anybody
show's
do
not for
that?
you.
Because why would anybody do that, right? Like, why would you even
Bring
go
some
there
joy.
and put that there? Yeah, exactly.
If it makes him happy, well, it's fine. I'm glad it's happening because it's happening, and
At least he's working.
It's not gonna happen forever, but right now we get to see it.
We do. I feel like it's gonna dry up though. Because I feel like somebody's going to hurt his feelings too bad, or
I don't think so.
And I
He's
also
been
feel-
doing this for years.
I also feel like we missed the sweet spot on him. There was a sweet spot when he was touring everywhere where we almost got him, where he's about to release the documentary about the pedophiles, and we could live stream. I feel like that was like, we're here, and then
Well, when the Today Show
got him,
yeah, that was what
that was sweet. Yeah, it was like, man, and they were laughing. They were like cringy laughing on air. It was weird. You want to do some voicemails, emails?
Yep.
All right, buddy. I got one fired up and ready for you. Here you are. Here's voicemail emails.
Hey, Tom, Dan, and Sam. BDM Easy checking in from chilly San Diego. I was just listening to Dan. You're telling a story about walking home from the club, doing a long walk home at night, and the cop wouldn't give you a ride. That reminded me of the story when I was playing soccer at Florida Southern College in Lakeland. You got to remember, this is 1999, so no cell phone, no Uber, no Lyft. And one of the kids on the team, I guess he went home from winter break or something, and took the Greyhound back. But the Greyhound dropped him off in Orlando. So he decided he was just going to walk from Orlando to Lakeland on I-4. And as you know, I-4, super sketchy, always under construction. Anyway, I think he made it about 8 hours before a highway patrolman finally picked him up and was like, what the hell are you doing? You're going to get yourself killed. And he drove him all the way back to campus. So there you go, Dan.
Well, that would stink because then you got to try and find a ride. No, I mean, like,
Well, you also can't leave a guy walking on I-4. That's just dangerous for everybody.
Yeah,
You know what I
yeah.
mean?
I was on sidewalks the entire way.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, we are, I mean, at least lucky in that regard. I mean, I know we don't have a lot of public transportation, and I wish that we did.
I know, it
'cause
sucks.
I would take advantage of it, but we don't. So I walked, and we have a lot of sidewalks. I do have a scooter, which comes in handy, but certainly you don't want to do that drunk. Ooh, that'd be bad.
Every once in a while, you'll see people walking on the turnpike or I-4, places they shouldn't be.
I hate it.
And then you'll be like,
And
"Why
they're
the-"
always walking close.
And then you'll pass their broken down car like like a mile ahead. You're like, oh, that's where they came from. And then you're like, I probably should have gave that person a ride.
Have you ever
I'm
given?
not picking nobody.
I used to. I
Crystal
used to
used
be
to.
a little more active
Hell
in
no.
doing that, but now it's like a little different because people getting stabbed and killed and.
I'd pick people up. I'd do it. The problem is now I'm too busy. Like I never I'll do it.
Probably
I'm not
don't
afraid
even
of them
notice
killing
the
me.
person on the side of the road. You're probably
He's
on
texting.
You're on your phone.
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
calling.
And it doesn't
You're in
happen.
the Tom Van fan club, looking at how they're clowning you.
I rarely see hitchhikers at all.
Yeah, I don't see them anymore.
No one's putting
You
out
know
their
where I
thumb.
see them the most? Out on the coast.
Well,
Yeah,
beach
yeah.
people are
Yeah.
crazy, and they live in a different
That's
world.
like the most I've seen them within the past 5 years.
It's sad that hitchhiking's not a thing anymore because I feel like a lot of people could travel like that, and
I think they
people-
still do.
You know, well, everybody's so afraid of it now, as picking people up and like the security of
Well,
it.
we're not down on our luck enough to not be afraid of it. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like the people that are still using it they're not in our areas.
Or they're
But-
extremely desperate.
But there are people still doing it.
Yeah.
I-
Oh, there for sure
Yeah,
people
right
still doing it.
right when I start saying, "Wow, it's not a thing anymore." No, it is. It's just I'm not in that world.
I wonder if hitchhikers are utilizing social media more
For rides?
like some sort of ride share, where there's some sort of
It's just like that trucking thing you were explaining to me about, like the guys bidding on things that if they-
shipping.
Yeah, I
Well,
bet it's like that now.
because it makes more sense instead of standing there on the side of the road with your thumb out that you'd go on some sort of Reddit page or
I'm
Facebook
sure
page.
because there's also there's smaller bands. They'll like couch surf. They'll ask for people if they can shower at
Yeah,
their
yeah,
houses.
yeah.
There's websites set
And there
up
are
for it.
websites that for like even for Fest where it's like, "Hey man, I'm only catching one day.
Yep,
Can I
exactly.
Can I sleep somewhere?
Or can I
Like,
catch a ride?
catch
I'm
a
coming up from
ride?"
Orlando.
Yeah, that's true.
That happens.
You
Yeah.
just got to get in the right group, I
Yeah.
guess. But I bet there are ride share groups you could get in, but that's not really going to help a homeless person because they may not have a phone or
They got phones.
like, well, some of them do, but like, you know, the guy that's always under there by Kittinger Park, man, he's been missing for the past 3 days, and Maisie keeps asking me about it, and I don't know what to tell her. I said, well,
Maybe he moved on.
yeah,
I'm
they're
like,
wanderers.
I hope he's okay.
You
Well, the
wander.
first thing Andrea wants to do is like, he's dead. He probably died, Maisie. That's where Andrea goes. Let's try this one.
Hey, Tom, Dan, Sam, Chuck from Michigan. Just question. You guys always talking about Baba. Is Alibaba kind of legit, or it seems kind of sketchy to me, but I don't know because there's some things on there I would like to get, but I think you have to have a business to do it. So can you fill me in on how that kind of works? And if you guys have had good luck with it. Thanks.
No, he's not talking about Bubba. He's talking about Baba. Alibaba. We make a lot of jokes about the website Alibaba because we buy a lot of Chinese garbage. I think we've only used it maybe once or twice, and Tony used it.
If Amazon is Target, Alibaba is Walmart. Right?
Okay.
Like that, I think that's the comparison.
But Alibaba's weird because like you'll find things you want, but you have to buy like 20,000
Yes,
units,
yeah.
or you have to buy an entire shipping container, or
But you could buy one-off stuff, and you could find.
you have.
It's
You bought those roaches one-offs
Yeah, yeah.
off of Alibaba. I still have mine. It works great. Probably one of the best things you've ever bought me. That
It's-
stupid roach.
It's a discounted Amazon, right? That's essentially. I mean, it's an Amazon type.
Sam's going to have to give us a definition. I
Deal.
honestly don't know what it is. I'm assuming it is like a Middle Eastern Amazon, but
Well, I thought it was like big in India and some Asian countries. Just different countries use it like we use Amazon.
yeah, but why this guy brings up a good question. Why
Looks
is
like
it?
it's more for like manufacturers and suppliers.
Yeah, so that's what I was going to say. I think it is for
A
bigger
little more
companies.
commercial.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's why you have to buy like massive amounts for the most part.
right.
For the
Yeah,
most
yeah.
part.
So I think that's primary. And it seems like the quality is
not great.
a little less.
Yeah.
You know.
AliExpress for singles is what this guy's saying. What is AliExpress?
Possible.
Type in AliExpress. Is that the kind of their version of their meaning, India? Is that a Indian Amazon substitute?
It's an online retail service based in China and owned by the Alibaba Group.
Oh, so it is. So this is the less commercial Alibaba is AliExpress.
Okay.
Thank you, chat room. That makes a lot of sense. Tom and I will be spending a lot of time on AliExpress. You saved us a lot of time. Let's try this one.
Listening to Monday's ACT Porch Daddies, you guys are talking about VHS's videos from the past. You had no idea what was on them. Funny story with that with me. I was with my mom at a snowboard ski convention. They had a bunch of booths for all these different shops and brands and stuff out there. And you can buy stuff. There's some snowboarding videos, and I was into snowboarding. And there's this one video called Plastic Soldiers. I know you can find it on YouTube, and there's some good scenes from there. But my mom asked the guy, is like, oh, will he like this? And he's like, oh, yeah, he will like it. So she got me that snowboarding video, VHS, and never watched it with me, but I know why he knew I would like it, because there's some split scenes where they're all partying, and it's just girls in lingerie and half-naked women dancing around. There's some great snowboarding and some great music, some Rob Zombie is some of the soundtracks, some good heavy metal in there and everything. It's a great stunts and everything, but looking back on it now, I know my mom was oblivious to what was actually on that video. Like Dan's dad would be oblivious to what was on some of the videos he was renting.
Yep, totally true. I like how he slammed
My
the
God, sir.
stop button because he was disgusted with himself.
I remember the days of trick videos that skateboarders and dirt bike riders.
You
and
put a hot girl in
snowboarders,
Yeah, there was always some
skiers,
girls jumping
yeah.
up and down in a bikini or something.
Or
Well, for
and comedy
me,
bits.
I
of
remember
the
this.
Jackass
I remember
stuff.
this one surfing video where there's this guy and he went up. He came to the bottom of the wave and then he came all the way up the top and he just whips off the top. And immediately when he whipped, there'd be he's spraying water out. And then they cut in this one surfer video. They cut it. And then they threw water, and it was like two girls standing there in thongs, and the water went on their butts.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And I'm like,
yeah.
I was like, hell yeah.
They
I
knew
don't
their
know.
audience.
Yeah, they knew
Yeah.
what they were doing. It was like young boys who like surfing and thongs. So
Yeah.
they just went for that.
And I wonder in the 90s, how much, I know some of these companies, for me, I grew up watching and going to the power sports store to purchase, the new Crusty Demons of Dirt video, which was essentially a group of dirt bike free riders, and they'd go out to different locations, and they film them doing jumps and tricks and,
I will tell
free
you,
riding.
behind the desk at Blue Sky Surf Shop in St. Augustine, there were still DVDs. And Andy and I were like, they cannot be selling those.
Yeah.
But this is 2 years
got
ago, though.
it
This
left
is 2
over,
years
yeah.
ago, but they were there. They were
Yeah.
there.
And it got to the point where I'd see some of these videos. They'd have rent helicopters and stuff. And we're like, okay, these
were
filmmakers are
production
making
values.
making money. But impossible to really know how much back then. Were they making millions off of this? Were they
think-
selling, tens of thousands of copies of it?
Sam, you might be able to look this
Doubtful.
up. Look up Kelly Slater, Quicksilver, black and white or black or white. That, I think, made money. That I remember that was that video was so everybody had a copy of it, man.
Yeah.
It was everywhere. And it was propped up by one of the bigger surfing brands of Quicksilver. I can't imagine that didn't make any money. Every friend I knew had Kelly Slater black and white.
Yeah. And then there's a skateboard version of this. There's
Oh, sure. You had in the 80s, leaching into the 90s, where all they didn't make any money because it was all bootleg, but you had all of the Pal Peralta, the Quest for Animal Chin.
Yeah.
All of those we watched, all of those
That's where,
crazy Tony Hawk videos where we'd always
CKY came out of that.
came
and,
right into
yeah.
Haggard and CKY and all the different underground videos. I know for a fact that the ones that we were watching they were always bootleg, so there was no money being exchanged there. It was always just somebody's dad had a high-speed dubber, and you'd break the tab, right? And you just
Yeah,
copy it all day.
Speaking of that, have you seen that Steve-O has taken Bam Margera under his wing and like is taking him on tour with him to try to like help
Is
him?
he?
What?
I said, oh, is he?
Yeah,
Well,
yeah,
it
I know
will-
he was on his podcast.
It will help.
It's hard
me-
to watch.
yeah, it
Because-
will help him because though Steve-O's watching him all the time, and that's probably what he needs. But I don't know.
I don't know.
Maybe a lost cause.
You know what's hard to watch for me is watching Bam Margera's career where I was looking at this guy and the brand was always this young kid that had no worries at all, doing
Yeah.
whatever he wanted,
Not a
just
care in
rich,
the world.
skateboarding, jackass, and he was living this insane life that we all looked up to. Like, I want a purple Lamborghini and have a mansion
Sure.
castle.
Who doesn't?
And just have fun and do jackass things with my friends and skateboard. You know what I'm saying?
Or hood rat things with your friends. I like that kid.
So you look at that and, and then now you got this guy that's had addiction problems. He's obviously has some sort of chemical imbalance or
there's an issue.
Or there's issues mentally, and then with his addiction, and then his weight, he's turning into his dad. Where
Well, even his mom in the documentary talks about that.
yeah,
He's predisposed to way more, like to really worry. He's going to be heavier no matter what because of just his family life. But the people he used to hang out with, would always drink, and he would just substitute alcohol for his calories, and he would stay thin.
And then what's so weird is now you got Steve-O, who's got his life together, right? Well,
Dude, he's top tier, got it all organized.
No, he went to a lot of rehab and therapy.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
he worked.
no,
Look,
You got to be willing
he's
to
in
do that.
programs.
He worked really, really hard.
And he's changed. Like, I think he's all vegan. He's been vegan for a long time, and it's like, so he looks healthy. His teeth look good. He's like Steve-O. He's wearing glasses. He's got gray hair now. He's turning into what's her name from True Lies?
It's turning into she fights Michael Byers, right?
Yeah, what's her?
Jamie Lee Curtis?
Jamie Lee
Yeah.
Curtis. He looks a little like
Steve-O
Jamie Lee
does
Curtis.
look like Jamie Lee Curtis.
But-
no, Johnny Knoxville looks like Jamie Lee
Oh,
Curtis.
is that,
No, they both are a little courtesy.
Yeah, he
They're-
looks a little
yeah.
courtesy too.
Yeah.
Anyway,
They're both courtesy.
and you're watching. So now Steve-O's trying to help Bam Margera get him back on his feet and get him into programs, and he thinks that I'll take him on tour with me,
So I can keep an eye on him.
Keep an eye, and then also I'm sure he's paying him a little something because Steve-O and Bam Margera could still sell tickets, right?
Yeah.
People go see
You know
because
what's
they're
really
so
sad,
huge,
too, is
but it is hard to watch
And
because
you know
you're like,
what's-
oh god.
And it's also sad seeing Bam skate now because 1 out of every 15 he'll hit a trick that you're like, oh my god, but the other ones he's falling
And he
it's
and he
bad.
never turned into an adult, and he's stuck in this perpetual
He's
Bam
skateboarding
Margera-
Corey Feldman.
Yeah.
He needs a fedora.
He's Jackass Feldman.
Oh,
Yeah.
Jackass Feldman.
Because
God
Corey
damn.
Feldman, because you're like you're
So wait
50
a minute,
years old,
Jackass
Feldman.
Feldman's on tour with Steve Curtis.
Yeah. Well, it's always a little sad when you never. You could do the same stuff because it's not sad for Steve-O.
So we have to have families. We have to be dads. We have to have something that keeps us looking like adults in order for us not to be made fun
You
of.
don't even need families. You just Steve-O's.
You got to keep it between the lines.
Steve-O seems like he's transitioned where he still does a little jackass, still does, but when you can't be a hardcore addict and have your life all falling apart and be that age and us all.
No.
You know what I'm saying? You have to have your S together. If you want to do some drugs and party, whatever, but obviously the people that couldn't keep it between the lines, like Steve-O, had to go full recovery, right? But he's doing well. He's got his.
What is Bam going to be doing?
That's the awkward part because I imagine that Steve-O, who's still relatively new at putting together stage shows, is going to probably shoehorn him into some
I
show.
didn't know it was a tour. I thought you meant. Oh
No,
man, I got this all wrong. I thought you meant that because he does his show on the road. I thought he was just bringing him along, sort of like I can keep an eye on you.
No.
I'm
He's
still doing the
involving him
show.
into the
Oh,
show,
Yeah.
which I imagine is going to be awkward when you're
Yeah.
there. I'd love to hear if someone's they're all in
I
California.
would go though. I mean, if they rolled through Orlando, and he spends a lot of time in Florida. If they rolled through Orlando because maybe they have ties here, I would go see them. I would go see them talk.
I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it.
Really?
I couldn't. I could like.
I
That's where
can't
you draw
imagine.
the
Okay,
line?
hold on. Maybe I'm giving Steve-O too much credit, but I can't imagine he's going to go into
Steve-O
this
is fine.
with not organizing this because he knows it's going to look
Yeah,
bad.
they're not coming here.
He knows it's going to look bad though because he's done enough. He's been sober long enough to know that when things look bad.
But also, he has now curated, I'm sure, a stage show that at the first, when Steve-O first started doing it, it was a little hard to watch because he started doing too much of the stunts and
Yeah.
having people choke him out and knock him out on stage and that kind of thing. And I think now it's really down to a lot of different stories, curated stories, and a touch of stand-up, right?
Yeah.
With a couple tricks, and they're more magic tricks at this point, right? Like
Right.
he's doing.
Well,
he's
he used to be a clown. He went to clown school.
Yeah,
Right, that's what people are
yeah,
saying
yeah.
in the chat room. They're like, don't forget that Steve-O actually
Yeah.
went to school and is a sort of a natural-born entertainer.
Yeah, he could do some handstands and do some tricks on stage, incorporate that, and then tell some stories, and
He's
so
also
I
really
feel like
likable too.
he's
you
a likable
know?
guy, yeah. And
Charismatic.
what he's doing right now is positive and not sad. It's like, oh, good for you.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
like,
Bring his dog
he's
up
building.
there.
Yeah, he's building it.
I got this dog from Peru.
This guy's he's healthy now. You know, it's like,
I do want to say that yesterday
this dog from Peru. It's hard to listen to my voice.
when I was getting my hair done, anything I talk about with my hairdresser does not move the needle. When I mentioned that Steve-O had been on this show, she thought I was lying. She
Oh,
had
really?
me pull it up on you. She's like, "Oh my God, this is so cool."
She
I
an
have
old
to.
skate rat or something?
She's like 23 years old.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Well,
But she
he's a huge celebrity.
She
Maybe
watches
she's a-
his podcast.
Oh,
Yeah.
I thought maybe she'd like Jamie Lee Curtis.
No, he's a big celebrity
is.
and at the time, you know, in the early 2000s, it was the biggest thing in the world. So he can parlay that into the rest of his career, selling tickets
For
and stuff
sure.
just off his name.
And if you got into Jackass, let's say in like 2010 when you were younger, which
Yeah.
kind of fits the bill of your hairdresser, yeah, I could see that happening.
It's just the old Bam Margera is like he's struggling.
I'm gonna wish him the
He's
best.
like, yeah.
I'm gonna.
Why not?
maybe Steve-O starts him slow, brings him out as an opener. He tells one sort of funny, entertaining story, and then he's like, "Okay, everybody, here's Steve-O," because you know he talks with his mouth clenched.
Yeah,
I can't stand watching him
Yeah.
talk.
It-
Maybe that's why I couldn't
Now-
go either, because he'd get up there and he'd be like,
It's like when my dad's jaw
"So
was
this
wired
is what I
shut.
did," and I'm like, "Open your mouth, please, for the love of God, your teeth move."
Now I would have
It's on
said the
drugs. You got to clench your teeth. Everybody knows.
Yeah.
I thought that was a Pennsylvania thing.
Well, I would have said the same thing about Steve-O when he was like, you know,
he's out of
whipping
control.
crazy and out of control. I'd be like,
Oh, I
this
love-
guy's
what was
never
the-
gonna get turned around. Like this guy's life is screwed.
Was
but,
it Jimmy? What was the late night show he was on where he's like lifting up the table and they're like, whoa, 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 whoa. That's my favorite.
Corolla.
It was Corolla.
yeah. When Corolla had a late night show for a couple episodes, and he
And
had
like, ho, ho, ho. And
he
Steve-O
was,
was
fighting him.
going crazy. Have you ever seen that?
No.
Oh, it's really
awkward,
good.
yeah.
It's really good.
So maybe Bam turns it around, and then like all of a sudden starts talking normal. Because when you watch him, you're like,
It's sad.
either he's still on drugs or just like he's not far out of it enough to like the effects of like.
It also can cause permanent damage.
Yeah, he tells this story about his doctor, and I've never heard this, but during the documentary, he's like, when he first got to the doctor said, your bones are like dried rubber bands, and they had to pump me full of water so I could skate again. And I'm like, I don't think that's science, and I don't think the doctor said you had rubber band bones. I think, I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about.
It's just like you're killing yourself with your, you
Right.
know, with what you're doing to yourself. And yes, it can cause permanent brain damage, but look at Steve-O, like
and nerve damage, I'm saying, though, too. Like, there's
Yeah.
Maybe he's too far gone.
could be.
Because was it
Steve-O
just
did
alcohol,
more drugs than yeah.
But I think in a lot of ways,
And
and
just
this is a
alcohol.
hot take, I think alcohol in a lot of ways can be a lot worse than these guys are like, I took LSD 100 times. Okay, I get that. But he drank 1,000,000 beers for 20 years.
Yeah,
which
but-
is worse.
And
I think
hard liquor,
I think
yeah.
the 1,000,000 beers is worse.
But we've seen
And it depends on your genetics, too.
True.
Yeah.
It's all a
True.
mishmash of crap.
I've seen some pretty bad
Write that down.
alcoholics turn it around, and they seemingly fine
Yeah.
after. You know, I mean, like it didn't give them some sort of weird.
My mom's sister did. She completely turned alcoholism around. It had some
Yeah.
other demons that got her that had nothing to do with it. But
I've also seen people that have drank for 20 years still do fine. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like,
well, that's-
still hardcore alcoholics, and
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
that's
doesn't
probably
seem.
the nasty hook, right? Is that other alcoholics see that too and go, well, how's that happen?
Can't be that bad.
Yeah, we have time for one more. This one's probably going to make you mad.
Hey, Tom, Dan, and Sam. I did the Nightcourt challenge with the new Nightcourt. I watched it till I couldn't stand it anymore, which was I got to the theme song and rocked out that. It was really bad.
Oh, wait, this is the right one. There is one guy that called and said he loved it, and this is Counterpoint. This is the guy that hates
wife
it.
instantly goes, "This looks like a bad high school play." It was so bad in the first 30 seconds. But I did the research, and I did what Tom wanted to know. What are the commercials during Nightcourt?
Do you want to know?
Okay.
Okay.
So I just did the first commercial break, and here they are. It was a pill for a bad heart, T-Mobile, Downy Wrinkle Guard, moisturizing lotion, fancy dog food, a J-Lo movie / Prime Video, Subaru talking about their dumb charity,
Hey.
Pantene hair shampoo stuff, a Google phone, and then an ad for another dumb-looking NBC show.
So that's old white people.
There's
That's their
the
demographic.
Yeah.
Nightcourt challenge. Thank you.
Middle America, that's it.
Pretty much.
Although it's hard now because it's like, well, what platform were you watching it? Were you watching it on Hulu Live? Because that may have different commercials. than if
Everything
you're
has
on
different commercials.
Bright House, it's all being curated
Wait
now.
till we have different commercials. You'll be listening to us in Sanford. You'll be getting a West End commercial.
Yeah,
You'll listen to
yeah.
Orlando, and you're going to get a downtown Orlando commercial.
It is weird because I'm listening to a true crime podcast that's about an Ohio situation, but all of them are from Orlando. So I heard Laura Diaz, I heard Brian from XL, and I'm like, it's throwing me off here.
Yeah. Well, Laura's
I don't like
Tampa.
it. She is Tampa,
got a
yeah.
little Tampa action.
That everybody's trying. Believe me, I do it. We don't have the means to do it, but you can put whatever commercial in front of whatever IP address from whatever cities down. Like so, someone
we actually can do it. We just haven't utilized it. Libsyn will let us.
We're
do
not
that.
big enough, but there's like if you are a national show and you got like iHeart behind you or some of these marketing agencies, like they'll put if you're downloading from Orlando, it'll be a local Orlando commercial,
and it should be.
Yeah.
I mean, that's smart.
You make
It
the
is
most
smart,
money.
yeah.
You don't want to hear something of some commercial you can't even utilize.
I did
at all.
enjoy those though, because there were times when you'd get these odd commercials, and I'd be like,
Yeah,
weird.
you're right.
I mean, if you're a weirdo like me, you like the weird commercials, right?
Yeah.
We gotta take a break.
Okay, cool.
We're getting out of here.
Oh,
we're
yeah.
back.
Bye.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sorry. I didn't know. This is Monday, right?
Monday 3 and 4.
Monday 3 and 4. It was a bye.
And then we'll need intros for tonight and tomorrow
Yep.
before Tom gets out of
We
here.
didn't have anything for Monday.
Nope.
What's the date on Monday?
The 30th.
Thank you. Good Lord.
Oh, yeah. I just got the Tom and Dan text. Join Tom and Dan for a few beers at a la carte, February 3rd. We should have promoted that
Yeah.
at 5:30 p.m.
I figured we'll start talking about it next week, just because
Well, that would have been next week. The ACT Monday.
Oh yeah. You're right.
Well, guys, I'm just going to turn this off now. So, cheers, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow.
Friday free show.
Friday free show.
Yes.
Who do we have tomorrow?
We have Ross.
Ross is coming in. Yep.
Ross McCoy. And we'll probably talk about Andrew Callahan a little bit.
Okay.
Oh,
I
yeah.
have a feeling.